So, how you feeling?
I'm well.
Yeah.
I am. Feeling good.
Okay. So we're gonna start off. Tell the people who is Bree Couture.
So Bree Couture is me. Bree Couture is an entrepreneur, fashion enthusiast, growth enthusiast. Yeah, that's Bree Couture. I'll tell you how I came up with the name Bree Couture. A lot of people think that it came from fashion, and it did not. Sorry, but shabo. It actually came from flash mobbing. Yeah.
Back in the days at the functions, turning up.
So back in like 2006, 2005, and stuff like that. If you're not from Philly, you probably think of flash mobbing as something completely different than what we consider flash mobbing. But we used to have like dance groups where we would Wu-Tang. This is like a foreign language to people now.
No, people still taking it.
Yeah. So Bree Couture was my flash mob name actually, and it just stuck with me throughout my years. It followed me throughout my matriculation. But it fit. I've always kind of been like an at-home designer, distresser, so that's who Bree Couture is.
Okay. Speaking on like flash mobs and just coming up, like what was your upbringing / childhood like?
I'm the youngest child. I should start with that. I'm the youngest child. My mom has 4 children. My mom has 3 girls and 1 boy. And then I have a separate father than my siblings, and he has 2 girls and 2 boys. I kind of grew up, you can say semi-single parent, but I was raised by my stepfather. Me and my biological father didn't have the best relationship until my adult years, like currently. But I was spoiled rotten. I feel like I was the youngest child. I was always like good at school, always like a straight A student and stuff like that. My dad always said, as long as I do good in school, I get whatever I want. So I got whatever I want. I grew up, I was born in Temple.
Mm-hmm.
My mom started kind of like in North Philly area, but I would like to say was a growth enthusiast before I knew what a growth enthusiast was. So she always was moving to a better area. Her goal was to go into Elkins Park, which is like the Cheltenham area, the county of Philadelphia. I moved a lot as a child. I went to a lot of different schools. Probably where I got attachment issues. One of them.
I think attachment.
Attachment, detachment. I do both of it, so it's horrible. But yeah, I like that. But I went to a lot of schools as a kid. I would say the most like memorable ones, of course, would be like my high school years and stuff like that. So I went to, just to back up for a second, I actually, I used to fight a lot. So I got expelled from the public school system in 7th grade, and I had to go to a disciplinary school.
Is that like military type drum?
Not necessarily. I actually applied to go to like some military schools, some like ROTC schools and stuff like that, like Leeds, and I didn't get accepted because I was late. I have this struggle with being late. It's funny because it's still a struggle, but yeah, I didn't get accepted into those. I would have loved to be an ROTC. I think that I like guns, not like in a bad way. I'm the youngest child again, so my older siblings, I should go into that. So my sister is 15 years older than me. My brother's 13 years older than me. These are my mom's children. My middle sister is 7 years older than me, so there's like a lot of gaps, and then it's me. So my brother and my older sister always had like their own place. They was adults kind of basically when I was growing up or whatever. And my brother always had like motorcycles and guns. He's like a manly man. I just loved ROTC, like drumline shit, like flipping it and doing all of those type of things. I thought that was cool. I went to a college prep middle school. I was recruited, I think in 3rd or 4th grade, I got recruited into the college prep school. I had like a high GPA, a high comprehension level. You know how you be like reading books ahead of your grade level and shit like that. So went there. Conwell is in K&A, if y'all know. It looked completely different now, but got into some fights, got kicked out of there. I went to a school called PLAN, That's Philadelphia Learning Academy North. It really was kind of like the Camelots and things of that nature. They just changed the names of them, which is disciplinary schools, if y'all don't know. It's so funny though, because when I run into my friends from that school, they be like, bro, you don't even act the same. Like, it's good, I keep it tucked. I did good behavior. And I was able to go back to, I think, regular schools, but they wanted me to go to the Strawberry Mansion. And my mom wasn't with that because she always said, like, I'm a good student, like, grade-wise, but, like, I'm with the shit. So you put somebody in a bad environment, they're just going to do what the environment does. Yeah, it wasn't for me, so I went to True Bright Charter School. Loved it there, got kicked out of there. As they were like filing the paperwork to kick me out, my mom withdrew me, so that's not on my record. But from there, I went to Delaware Valley Charter, and we wore these like a la Barton security uniforms. That's kind of like where I always was like the stress and stuff like that, but I think that's where people started to know me for fashion. I kind of was like the Fresh Prince or the like That's So Raven with my uniform and stuff. Since everybody looked the same, I used to like put spikes on my stuff or a lot of pins.
Before, you saying like in high school, that's when like people started to notice you for the fashion. So did you like already have an interest or was leaning towards that before that, or like did it, at that time, like that's?
I think that, like I said, I was kind of making stuff, distressing stuff, doing a lot of like DIY stuff, but that's kind of when I joined like a troupe, model troupe and stuff like that. So I started doing more fashion shows. And that was like school, like high school troupes, as well as I joined like a nonprofit. I don't want to say their names because I don't want to give them any publicity. And that itself, amplified like people knowing me for fashion and stuff like that. I also got my first job around that time, and again, I was just fucking with my uniform and doing all kinds of things, coming to work with so many layers. And I worked at McDonald's, y'all, so there's no reason why I had on what I had on, but
Stand out.
It was what it was. 31st in Allegheny. It was one of my funnest jobs.
Did you know like that was going to be like your purpose at the time? Or that you wanted to pursue it further, or you just did it because that was the vibe you was on?
That was like my creative outlet, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say like that's when I knew that was my purpose. I knew that it got me what I wanted, which was like attention. It got me sales, friends, I guess, because people wanted me to make them shit, so they wanted to like be my friend Dickie, for lack of a better word. Like, I used to have people knocking on my door or like telling my mom like, I need your daughter to make me some jeans, or I need your daughter to So it's like it definitely kept my name floating in the streets and stuff like that. Still was like outsourcing stuff, still paying people to make me custom stuff at the time. Like in high school, I used to pay people to, like, I still to this day have like one-on-ones from people who don't even make clothes no more.
What is Mr. Sir to you?
Mr. Sir brand, that's my baby. That's my baby. I work hard for her. Mr. Sir is a lifestyle brand. If I had to compare it to another brand, I would say like an Off-White or a Louis Vuitton. And a lot of people don't know, like Louis Vuitton started with trunks. Y'all probably can't see this, but like Louis Vuitton started with trunks. Back in the days where everybody like traveled on trains and stuff like that, and then expanded to like bags, and then expanded to clothes, and then expanded to watches and things of that nature. But basically the moral of it is Louis Vuitton has everything. Postcards, pictures, paintings, as well as garments, shoes, and things of that nature. And that's what I see from Mr. Sir. A lifestyle brand, meaning that every part of your life it can be a part of. I want it to be something that promotes you to live a certain lifestyle, a better lifestyle. And what that lifestyle is to be, like I said, a growth enthusiast, which is somebody who is always looking to grow and always looking to be the better version of themselves. With that, what I'll do is I'll start creating or curating. I kind of already started, I guess we'll get to that. But like with my field day, for instance, Adult Field Day, like I want to bring people together that are, of course, like-minded people, but are supportive and promoting the same thing that the brand represents. So a lot of people like don't even know. I hated starting with t-shirts. I hated starting with sweatsuits. I feel like Michael Jackson, like, I hate touring. Like, just act like you like it, okay. Like, but I did not want to start with t-shirts, which is probably why I prolonged the release of Mr. Sir so much, because I sketch and I design and I have these ideas in my head, but I know that for branding purposes, that's kind of like the best way to get the brand out is to have those like t-shirts, to have small minute items that people can just mix with anything and everything, wear it in different ways or whatever like that. Another person I would love to be like is Vera Wang. I love Vera Wang. Vera Wang has, everybody knows Vera Wang for her wedding dresses, but one time I was thrifting and I found Vera Wang jeans. And it's like, if you think of the range to go from denim jeans to a wedding dress, like, she's touching every market. Like, so yeah, that's what I see.
What made you attend the HBCU? Or what was the other?
I don't know what made me attend the HBCU. I literally don't. I'm so serious. I applied to probably like 12 schools. So Delaware Valley Charter School, they had this thing where if you got accepted to a school, you can wear regular clothes. And I told y'all we look like a la Barton people, so anything to get out of the uniform. So I went on a comment app and I just was shooting them things out, like, and I got accepted. I always, like I said, had a great GPA, but I didn't apply to no HBCUs. I didn't apply to no schools that was really out of state. I was really going to go to probably like Albright or Hartgrove, which is right up City Line Avenue. The furthest school I think that I applied to, and I always butchered his name, is like Casanova or something, which is like in upstate New York. It's cold as shit up there. They get a lot of snow. One of their majors was like horse grooming. Why would I be around those people? Why did I do that to myself? And Casanova, or however I'm supposed to say that, offered me the most money in scholarships or whatever. Probably because I was like the token black person, but you know, who cares? And I posted my acceptances. Like I had like a little chart that my counselor gave me. I used to spend so much time with my counselor just to get out of class. But she gave me like this chart and we would write down all of the schools, like, and it's a checklist, like if we sent this off, if we got accepted, if we paid our deposit, like those type of things on a checklist. And I posted a picture of that on Instagram. I did like some YouTube research and some Google research. And I liked it. I learned that that's where they filmed like Drumline and Stomp the Yard and stuff like that. So it's just like the surface level, shallow type of things that like piqued my interest. I found out that they had fashion. Some of the schools that I applied to was strictly for business. Some of them was strictly fashion. But my struggle with that was I felt like although I'm good with numbers, I have, you know, good reading skills and stuff like that, I felt like that was going to be too like structured for me. Like I was only gonna be using one side of my brain, and then I felt like the creative shit from the fashion stuff was not structured enough, and I would be using the other side of my brain. I kind of needed to find a balance of the two, but I didn't know that fashion merchandising exists. So when I read that they had fashion design and merchandising, now I gotta Google what the fuck that is. Like, so I'm looking into it and I'm like, oh, it's like the best of the both worlds. I had my little aha moment. And then I think I applied. Somebody that I used to work with, McDonald's, my first job, he went to Clark for business. And like that was my only person that I knew that. I didn't know no soul in Georgia, y'all. My mom told me I had like a cousin that lived in maybe Alpharetta, McDonough. If you're familiar with the city, it's like half an hour away. He told me that he liked it. It was just something that was like, all right, this it. Like, so before I even like ever saw the school, I paid and confirmed my spot there. I paid my deposit for the housing, paid my deposit for me moving in. I got accepted. I did like early admissions. So I got accepted in like November, December. Like I got accepted before the new year even came. And I went down there for an open house, I think in March. Y'all, I'm Muslim. I should say that. I'm Muslim. Don't judge me. But I went down there fully in garb, y'all, to Georgia. What I'm saying is, y'all, it was hot as all hell. Bitches is walking around in shorts and eating ice cream.
You garbed up.
And I got on a kimono.
Listen, it's dedication.
And a turtleneck.
Sheesh.
And like, oh my gosh. And we're on tour. I mean, walking in the sun from building to building, like, I mean, dedication, like you said, but I just knew that when I moved in, it's coming off. Like, it's coming off. Stay for long, but it's coming off. Like, yeah, that was a freaking moment. Like, shout out to that though. So my sister came down there with me. My grandma came down there with me. My mom couldn't come. That's something that we could touch on. My mom actually, my mom has disabilities in her legs. Her legs are not that well. So from a young age, I kind of used to take care of my mom, like different household duties or whatever. And as I mentioned earlier, my siblings are older than me. So it was a period of time where they moved out and it was just me in the house. And like my mom would have falls. Sometimes she couldn't make it up the steps and stuff like that. So I had to help with that. I did a lot of like the manly, quote unquote, manly duties of the house, or what men would do in my imagination, like taking out the trash. If it was ever like a rodent or anything, we never had roaches. I never lived in the projects, nothing like that. But if it was like a mouse or something like that, I would have to be the one to get that. It's probably why I'm such a tomboy. If y'all knew what I was gonna wear today, like.
So they had DMX.
Yes, like I listened to DMX and Ja Rule on my way here, y'all. So just know it was giving New York. It's giving New York. But yeah, so my mom didn't go on that trip just because she wasn't sure how her legs would respond to like the small plane or whatever, the room of the plane, sitting for that amount of time sometimes gives her cramps and stuff like that. And the reason why my mom has these issues is because she was hit by a septic bus in her younger days and she needed a knee replacement. And in Philadelphia, you can't get a knee replacement until you're, I think, 40 years old. So if it happened in her 20s, it's just deteriorating more until she's of age to get the surgery. Yeah.
Was she able to get it?
She did get the surgery, and unfortunately, it's like some malpractice. They didn't fully like measure her. When you go into leg surgery, they're supposed to measure your fucking legs. Long story short, one of my mom's legs came out to be like a 3/4 to a half an inch shorter than the other. This is after the surgery, and it's crazy because she was such a good surgery patient. Like, she's supposed to be in recovery, I think, for like a 2-week period. We were very excited. This was around the time where it was just me and her in the house, so it was like very excited. I kept saying like it was close to the new year, so new year, new me, and stuff like that. And it was just supposed to be like a different life for her, and she did everything really quickly. They was asking her to do like commercials and stuff like that for the hospital because she was recovering so well. After a knee replacement, obviously you can't walk. So it's like when she started to go to the PT and walk and stuff like that, she started noticing different pain and stuff. So fast forward now, she has like hip pains, because if you're understanding what I'm saying in regards to one leg being shorter than the other, that means you're putting more pressure on one leg, and then your pelvis is kind of slanted, and et cetera, yeah. So I'm gonna be a millionaire so we can get her better doctors and buy her a crib and shit like that. Alright, so if we rolling, if I had any game in the world, like no matter PS5 to Nintendo, I would get the Wii and I would play the Michael Jackson.
Oh, the dancing drum? That shit was good.
And it was better than Connect on the Wii because Connect was a little too hard.
Yeah.
They really saw you and shit like that. The Wii, once you was hitting that shit, you didn't even have to move.
So, Clark College.
Clark
Study.
University.
There we go.
The illustrious.
The best
Clark
age.
College and Atlanta University merged together to make them. That's why I corrected you.
That's fine. So yeah, studying in college, and we were gonna touch on how did you fall in love with fashion?
I'm trying to think of like when I started making stuff more.
Mm-hmm.
My first boyfriend was murdered, and I feel like I went into like a little depression. But I do feel like I remember me taking a lot of like jeans and distressing jeans. I think that would be around the time, just it being an outlet, me being creative, me seeing kind of, I guess, where it could go, like really looking into magazines at that time. I was exposed to more. I was seeing different people in the city who had stuff. I remember this one girl, I can't think of her name. She used to sell Shayla's Shayla is a rectangular head wrap, hijab. The squares are kimar, and we will fold that a certain way, and the Shayla just gets wrapped around you. So she would sell Shaylas, and she would sell sunglasses, and she was making money, like, but they weren't expensive. They was pushing, they was selling or whatever. And I followed her on Instagram, and I think that's kind of when I first started trying to like fall in love with like having a fashion business, I guess you would say. I could spend $30, $27 on a box of 12 sunglasses and sell them for $15 a pair or $20 a pair. So that $30 box just made me how much? But then I gotta get different styles, different frames. I didn't want to do Shayla's, even though I was Muslim, but like that was her thing. That's what she known for. I never want to be a dick eater. I never want to copy off of somebody or whatever like that. If anything, like if we in the same group, which we wasn't, because she's older than me, but if we in the same group and you sell eyelashes, I'm gonna sell lip gloss. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna straight be a direct competition to you. If anything, they could buy from both of us and benefit or whatever like that. Like, but I was like, I gotta get some sunglasses. And I just was trying to figure out how I can get it. Once I got to college, I started my sunglasses business. And it kind of like still was that inspiration from when I saw her making her money and making her business off of shoes and sunglasses or whatever. My first business was Shady Eyes. Shady Eyes by Bree C. I remember my first pair of glasses. I remember my first frame. It basically was like a collection of fashion frames or whatever that I didn't see other brands having or other businesses having. If I seen that this vendor had, let's say 30 pairs, but 10 of them I've seen already, I'm gonna go look at the ones that people didn't see. So it kind of made mine unique. And I didn't restock a lot of my fashion frames. I just, once they sold, that was it. It was exclusive or whatever like that. So that's kind of how I got known in college for being like the fashion girl. Shady Eyes is where I did my first like my business, pop-up shops, my first like vending things, my first business photo shoots where I had to work with other models and give them my direction. That's where I started playing with creative direction and styling and all of that stuff. I had my own website at the time, which was Bree's Bag. Oh, it's got a good size bag. It's my bag today, and it's never no telling what's in Bree's Bag. I was a full-time college student, which means I got books for the most part, but I also had Shady Eyes, so sometimes I had marketing stuff, sometimes I had orders that I had to ship off by the time I get out of this class or whatever. Sometimes I'm hungry and it's a takeaway cheese. It would just be whatever in my bag. It's kind of always whatever in my bag. So Bree's Bag was a thing, and then the sunglasses grew to Shady Eyes Mink Lashes. So I sold eyelashes, and then I had to like brand those and play with those and things of that nature.
How did you balance work, college, and your business? Like, how did you find that balance during that time?
List. L-I-S-T.
Saying organized.
Like literally list.
Yeah.
I needed to like have a weekly list and a daily list of like what I needed to do that day. And you kind of feel accomplished when you checking shit off your list. Like I know that when I go sit down at the end of the day, I did everything that I needed to do, or whatever. Let's say I missed one, or I didn't have the opportunity to do one, or whatever like that. Then I know that that could be at the top of my list tomorrow. I don't have something saying like, "Bro, you were supposed to do that and finish that." Like, I might not remember until it's too late. Like,
how you were saying you went to so many schools, so it's like you constantly meeting new people.
I'm always introducing myself, and I'm the youngest kid. My parents did drugs for a short period of time. And by the time I was born, my mom and my dad was in a group called like NA, Narcotics Anonymous, right? So when my mom was no longer doing drugs, she moved away from her family and friends that were doing drugs. I just grew up in Narcotics Anonymous. Like when I would go with my mom to the meetings, so I'm always just talking to people. I'm literally sitting in rooms where people are sharing, that's what they call it. I feel like that plays a part. Me moving a lot because of her wanting to continuously be in a better environment, meeting new people, stuff like that. And then I get to an age where I'm outside and we flash mobbing, and groups was different parts of the city. Like meeting up for big events, big outdoor events or whatever like that. So you getting to know your community because you want to be a part of this particular group, and then y'all going to go be in a bigger group, I don't know, cliques. So that was kind of, I just feel like I always just been talking. As I'm older, I'm wiser. So I'm a little bit more observant with a lot of things, who I want to speak to and what I want to say to people. But I don't really have too much of an issue talking, especially in outdoors. If it's like all eyes on me, you know, kind of changes it. But I'm growing.
How did that, how does that play into your discernment? Like knowing who to talk to and also that being connected to like just decision making skills, because we all deal with that pretty much.
Yeah. I like that. It's heavy, a little beat. When you from Philly, North Philly, like you just see a lot of things. And once you see a lot of things a few times, you kind of catch the vibe. So when I grow in life, no matter where I go, like I can feel when something is off. I can feel when something is wrong, or sometimes it's not always right away, but it's enough where I've probably like saved myself from different situations. I would say, like, just because I don't want to be around that person, or I don't want to be at this event. I just credited it to like my environment, nature versus nurture in a way.
That's beautiful. Where did you develop your discipline from?
The first thing that came to my head was failure. The first thing that came to my head was failure. If I fell short or something that I can control, like that bothers me. Like, so it's like I could have did better, or I could have just prepped a little bit more, or something like that. So I would say like my discipline, because even right now, like again, as a creative, sometimes you start something, you don't necessarily finish it right away. But like you got it in the back of your head, like you know you got to get back to it. So it's like just knowing what your goal is, and like, all right, if you want that, if you want to be there, if you want to accomplish that, then you got to do it. There's no way around it. So.
Did you have like any personal role models that you could learn stuff like that from, as far as entrepreneurship? Or would you be the first in your family?
I wouldn't say, I would be the first, I feel like, to use the title entrepreneur. Not everybody had jobs all the time, like, but they would consider us hustlers. Right? So different ways that I've seen people grind. I was bred as a hustler. I would consider myself a wolf amongst the sheep type time, but the way I do it, I prefer to go the legal route. I prefer to do, not saying that nothing is illegal, like legacy-wise, something that I can attach myself to and provide different opportunities for other people, like in my community, in my family, in my younger generations to come, or whatever like that. Like, so that's the way that I would put it. Those type of, when you hustling, it's no, like, I can't pass down the hustle. I can teach you the skill, but I can't pass down the hustle. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, speaking on like, you saying like how you didn't want to do like shirts and sweatsuits. So like, what would you rather have done, or what are you trying to focus on more?
When I got in the tuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you looking forward to?
I got some stuff in the tuck. I got some, now that I've like embraced hoodies and stuff like that, I do have different like hoodie prints, and my split personality gets a lot of love, so I'm loving it. A lot of the stuff that I already have is my own patterns, and it'll most likely always be my own patterns, but I want to do more like workwear. I want it to be something where you can dress it up or down. For instance, because like I said, Bree's bag, what's in my bag is for my whole day. So when I come outside with my outfit, I don't want to have to go back home to change, and that's my goal. So if I can make clothes that are maybe functional enough or interchangeable, let's say, I have a pink design that like it has a button or something. Basically, the bottom of the pink can change, like, and it's just a button or a zipper that makes it do that. It's the same pink. You're not changing your clothes, but you can add or take away something or whatever. Maybe make a dress knee length for work, but then it can be, you know, scrunched up or something like that for it to get shorter for a later part of the day. When you hustling, it's no, like, I can't pass down the hustle. I can teach you the skill, but I can't pass down the hustle. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
shout out to Vaughn. Vaughn's an amazing graphic designer. He does screen printing. He has his own clothing brand. I wear and post his stuff a lot. Steph, he has some. Vaughn is in Georgia now, but he's from New York. Steph is in Ohio. He got a shop with GTG and stuff like that and still pushing his brand. And Jay got a podcast and she's still painting, doing custom stuff, and I believe she's working on some merch as well. So shout out to them.
What's the importance of a team, and how has a team played a role in your success?
I was gonna say you probably need one more than the other, but I'm not sure. So
Yeah, because when I ask it, I kind of think of them the same, but when I see support system, it's more so that might be like your family, versus like the team will be the actual people that's a part of the business.
Yeah.
And like on the day-to-day grind, helping you get the things done on the list, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and I feel like your support system, it's not always your family.
Facts.
So sometimes you have one, not the other. Sometimes you have a support system and no team. Sometimes you have a team and no support. I feel like at times I've had neither. Sometimes I've had one, sometimes I have both. So it's just like how the journey goes. Again, it's not always who you think it is, but there's people out here looking to be supportive, and you just gotta accept who is being there and who's showing you that they're supportive. When I first dropped Mr. Sir, like I only had not even a split logo that y'all see today. I don't know if y'all can see this. I feel like you probably saw it, but it was just black shirt with white ink and white shirt with black ink. Them Jones went like sold out, like, and everybody was just posting them, everybody was reposting them, no matter where they traveled, they wore it, and I'm grateful for that. So that was fire. Building a team is a little tricky. Building a team, you gotta find people who are supportive, not jealous or envious or competitive with you. They have a similar goal, which is to see the brand grow and who want the best for the brand. And hopefully they're still quality people in regards to productivity, whatever their asset is to the team, as well as like moral compass. I feel like as you grow and you go through different things and you use your discernment, you talking to people and networking and all of those things combined, you start, not even you, like life starts placing people in the places that you need them to be. And again, if they have a similar goal, which is to see the brand grow and be the best that it can be, then it's just gonna form how it's supposed to form. But they're coming around slowly. It's like pyramid scheme, or what's that shit? Time.
Domino.
I'm happy that you laughed first. The fuck is that?
I was just thinking a different
Hourglass.
Okay.
Hourglass.
I wasn't finding that.
Yeah. I went like this and he said domino. I understand why you did that now.
Domino effect.
Oh, okay. No, that's not where I was going with it.
Yeah, nah, nigga. But basically, y'all be supporting these high-end brands, but y'all don't support these local-owned people and people that's grinding and so on and so forth. And not, but from my perspective, looking in, it's like, it be looking like hella people be supporting Bree. Like, I know I support her. I bought the bucket. I bought the socks. I bought the jacket. You know what I'm saying? She gifted me the wallet for my birthday last year. You know what I'm saying? And then like how she just be posting, people supporting her. She be pulling up on people because when she pull up, she recorded and stuff like that. But that led into the conversation of, on social media, you only see what people post. So the fact that these people are, you know, supporting her, but compared to all the people she know and being in this space, she's not getting the support that could be on a bigger scale type situation. So we was just having a conversation about that, and it was definitely dope to hear her perspective, and now we're going to tap into it more so the people could hear it, you know what I'm saying, just all those different aspects.
And I feel like you just said like it's kind of like the iceberg effect. One, social media is a like particularly curated space. Like people are only showing certain things. They're only showing highlights for the most part, unless they're intentionally looking to disrupt the narrative, which I try to do now. I'm try to be a little bit more conscious of that. But for the most part, you're seeing people highs and not their lows. When you see me posting the ones who are supporting me, if we just tapped into, I done moved around the city, I done went to different states, and da-da-da-da-da. So it's like, obviously it could be more. I'll say that for blatant statements. Like, it could be more. It could be more done, stuff like that. It could be more things that's happening. But everything happens for a reason. Some people may just naturally not like it. Some people may just naturally not like me. No fuck. Like, so, like, deadass. Like, some people could like it and don't want to support me. That's another thing that I had to realize. Just because I'm posting it and I know they follow me, don't mean that they saw it. Like, the algorithm don't always show people everything. Some people take hiatuses from social media. Some people not on there at a certain time or whatever like that. So to be offended or any type of that thing, like, you gotta kind of be self-aware and hold yourself accountable for shit like that. And one of my quotes we talked about with Abu is try not to accredit to mileage what can be accredited to incompetence. So with that being said, it's like somebody could just be literally in their own space and you feel like it's intentional to you or they're doing something to you, and it's like, no, they're so caught up in what they got going on they don't even realize how it's affecting you, but you're upset with them type of something. So I just try to move like that. Like, yeah, of course it's some people that were in my hot circle, that I feel like could do more, but now they're no longer in my hot circle, because the people that should be the people that want the best for you.
Yeah, that's important, because woo.
And you see me do that like here and there. Like, I probably do it a couple times a year or whatever like that, because it's still a process to get out of that mindset or whatever. But and I do try to bring awareness to other people, like, that they could do more. Like, I just had to, one of the people, I said I blocked people earlier, I don't know if you heard that, but one of the people that I recently blocked was like my cousin, and it's like she was trying to give me, you know, business advice or whatever, and I'm like, bro, and I said her title, I'm not gonna say it, but like, you do that. Like, why are you trying to tell me how to do what I do when you don't even follow my brand page? Like, you don't even be on my website. Like, you trying to tell me that my such can be a little this or da-da-da can be done this way, and it's like, I shouldn't even be talking to you direct about my business. Like, you should be going through the channels that be, and you're unappreciative of that. Like, you just feel like you could be talking to the website. Like,
so the importance, I look at it like, because when, like, them flash mob days, like back when I was in high school, I was buying Abercrombie, Armani Exchange, you know what I'm saying, spending like $30 on a shirt. And it's like, my aunt would always tell me, she'd be like, yo, like, you could buy like 5-10 shirts for that price or whatever the case. So she always like installed that mindset, like, I could get more for my money. And it's like, why support these people? And it might not even last, or like, it's just less, you know what I'm saying? So when I started getting older, it was like, now I shop at Marshall's, you know what I'm saying? It's about, I think, the pieces, like, you tap more into your style versus like the brand. But I will spend money on the people I like and fuck with, like you, Ron Green, What's Up African, and stuff like that. Like, the people that I see that's doing their thing. So say all that to say, support y'all local people.
So I have two questions, right? The first question is, you said that you were spending a certain amount on Abercrombie, Hollis,
Yeah.
Do you feel like they didn't last?
No, they didn't. Because I mean, they lasted for the high school years, but like, the amount of money I spent and the amount of wears I got out of it is like, it doesn't add up.
So did you outgrow the shirts, or did the shirts deteriorate?
That's the other thing too, is how the shirts fit. So if I'm buying a medium and I'm long, my arms, you know what I'm
But
saying?
that's on you not buying the right shit. Because what I'm trying to
I grew out of it too, though.
What I'm trying to get to is the quality of the shirt itself remained the same for the most part. It's
Right.
not like you was washing it and it shrunk. It's not like they was just falling apart, tearing and shit like that. Naturally, you saying the shape of the shirt you didn't like anymore, and your body started to outgrow it.
Yeah.
But the quality of the shirt itself was fine. That's why that was the price that it was.
Facts.
To be all the way honest. The second question was, you said something about you purchase from brands like myself or other brands or whatever like that. So do you do that initially because you're supporting the person, or are you supportive of the brand itself? Because if you didn't like the garments, would you still
No, I
purchase
wouldn't buy
them?
it.
Okay.
No, because I wear, like, anything I buy from, first of all, if I'm on a brand page, I'm looking for something I would wear. I wouldn't just buy it just to support type general. So I'm buying the bucket, and because I like the bucket. First of all, it's a pink bucket. It stand out.
Black boys are pink.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere I went, they're like, yo, where you get that, da-da-da. And I direct them to the page. It's
Monochromatic pink bucket hat.
It's a conversation starter. They be like, what's that? I be like, my man's made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, tap in, share the link, da-da-da-da. So it creates conversations, and it's because nobody gonna know what that is. And they like, where you get that from? It's like, you put them on, you supporting your people multiple ways. Like, your support and bringing people to them. So
yeah, so everything I make, I feel like I will wear for sure. But I also try to add diversity to it and functionality to it. And I ask people, I probably have asked you before, like, what you think of this design or something like that, because I do try to be considerate of things that I don't necessarily think of because I'm not exposed to it. If somebody has a different day-to-day in their life compared to mine, then they might be exposed to different things. They might need more buttons, or they might need more pockets, or they might, whatever. The material might need to change, or the fit might need to change, or whatever like that. So all of that is stuff that I try to keep in mind. But I am a tomboy. Like, if I had to pick a female that I dress like, I would probably say like a Tiana Taylor, Aaliyah type of person. So sometimes it's very sexual and fitted and stuff like that. Sometimes it's baggy and, you know, whatever. So I feel like I want my pieces to be comfortable to me. I shop in the men's side, I shop in the female side. I've grabbed stuff from the kids side before, like, if I could fit it like that time.
Right.
So it is what it is. Style is style. Like, so if you could put that shit together or whatever like that, like, my sweatsuits obviously can be worn together as a set, but I would love to see how somebody made it look if it was a bottom and something else, or a top and something else, or whatever like that. Like, this is a men's quote unquote jacket, but on my side it's a unisex. Like, so it is what it is. Like, because it is girls out here who wear stuff like this, and we want stuff like this. So we don't want to always steal our men's jackets, you know. Other brands reach out to me because they like the way I market, and some of the opportunities in their eyes I've gotten because I'm great at marketing, compared to if we have similar quality garments but you only market your stuff to the same people that you market it to. You can't be mad that you're not making consistent sales, or people not buying everything because they're buying it. Like, but if you have a different audience and you pushing it to new people and strangers and then you're more likely to make more sales because you have a bigger audience. But ebook is available on Instagram _Bree Couture. Oh, Bree Couture. I should make that my website. Like _Bree Couture on Instagram is right in my like pin Jones. So my pin top 3 posts. So I can just DM you for it. It's 50 plus vendors for $75 at the moment that this is recorded, but yesterday's price is not today's price.
speak on like you working with other brands and collaborating with people.
Would
like
I pursue that?
No. Speak on like your experience with that.
I've worked with some good people in different ways too. I've worked with some good people. I've worked with the Cream Agency. I can't really say what thing I work with, I think, because I signed an NDA, but I can credit myself for doing that. I work with the Cream Agency. If y'all don't know what the Cream Agency is, that is Cardi B's publicist. I want to work with the aunties. That's Tiana Taylor. But I've done work with some local brands. When I say local, at the time I lived in Georgia. So I work with like some local brands down here that are popular. I'm not going really. I say Dirty Stick. Dirty Stick was a cool one, just to give him his props. But I've worked with some other like political people, or we as a team have worked with like Keisha Lansbottom at the time. We did like Sergeant promo merch. I'm Pretty V from Wildin' Out that be on Instagram with the robes and stuff like that. We did her robes. That was an awesome experience. I started working there because that was a Black-owned business. It was a small like business, and they had creditable things that they were doing. I didn't go in there intending to work there. I went there to get some work done, but I always network, and I like strangers. I always got my resume on my phone, so when he asked me for it, I just emailed it over, and I think like 2 months later, he called me, offered me the job. Cool experience. I took it so I could study him in the business or whatever. Learn to do what I would do and what I wouldn't do if I got my own opportunity to do that. And yeah, I liked it there. I love touring. What?
Bring it back to the meeting.
Since the guys here. Shout out to the guys. I love my niggas, but where's my bitch?
Shout out to the guys.
We back in the building. Tell us some of the hardships you face that people may not know you go through with the entrepreneurship and just, you know what I mean, with your brand and everything like that.
I done seen it all. I done got like scammed and stuff, like paying for services and not getting my merch. Photographers that don't edit or do, you know, something different from the concept. And then you go through like the mental stuff and the financial stuff or whatever. Mental stuff being like, as we talked about earlier, a little bit of like struggling with support or expectations of people, creativity, maybe creativity's blocked, any type of thing. You gotta have a job, of course, to fund your job, or some type of something that's gonna generate money. Especially if you don't want to, or you're not accessible to like other people's money right away. So you're gonna have to have something. You gotta have believe in yourself and all of that. So it can be definitely a journey.
What sacrifices have you made?
Not necessarily going out sometimes, so that way you can stay, you can grind, work on the project. Sacrifices can be not staying in and going out and networking, finances and budgeting, not spending as freely or saving for certain periods of times, or just working to meet certain budgets, putting the money back into the brand, making somebody else rich while you're not putting it into your brand. I risk it all. Like relationships, you gotta be willing to walk away from, I feel like, anything that isn't in alignment from your goal to your goal. Like we said, discernment before and intent, and really like trying to follow a path that you see for yourself. Because like, again, if you believe it, then it's obtainable.
What maintains your interest in like what you do? Like, have you ever had to tell yourself like stay focused on that when you really felt like you was drifting away from it?
I feel like the people be bringing me back. Like, people fuck with my brand. I had got arrested, spent the night. I spent like a little chunk on jail, so I'm like, I'm off there, I'm about to stay down. I'm gonna go to the park, I just wanna be around some love or something. I feel like as soon as I got to the park, somebody that I hadn't seen in a little while, and it's like small reminders like that I could be having a bad day and somebody tagged the brand, just bring, like, they don't know what I got going on or how I feel or nothing, but just that day they decided to throw on Mr. Sir. And that's what keeps me going throughout anything. Philly Fashion Week was cool. I was excited. That was my first fashion week. We still like blossoming as a brand. And since I started Mr. Sir while being in Georgia, like my LLC is in Georgia, so it was very important to me when I came home to make sure that Philly knew that this was a Philly brand. Philly Fashion Week's dope. I actually got the opportunity and I didn't know it. So they called me like a week after they, like a couple days, like a week after they sent the email. I was like, you ain't see that? Like, and I'm like, see what? Like, it's like, we sent you an invitation to Philly Fashion Week, whatever. And I was like, oh no, I thought that, okay, like, all right, cool, like, so that was cool. It was a lot of preparation. I feel like the presentation, the quality, all of those things are like very important. So it's like you don't want to just present anything. Everybody doesn't have necessarily that like training, I would say, like, or conditioned to be that way. I put like a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that I was presenting something that I was proud of and that was quality and that was wearable right away in regards to functionality and appeal and textures and things of that nature.
What's your zodiac sign?
What's your real name? And that's your stripper. I'm an Aries. I'm double Virgo Aries, so that means that my moon and my rising, if I'm not mistaken, or my sun is a Virgo, and maybe my sun is a Aries and my rising moon. I think I said that right. Yeah, no, I'm talking about. I was born in April, but I'm a double Virgo. Boom.
Yeah, they say you guys are like very controlling.
I wouldn't use that word.
They say when you know what you want, you take it.
I'm a chaser.
The stubborn. Yeah.
What are they saying? Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Move in alignment. You know what you want, and if it is not what you want, or if it does not serve you the way that you need it to serve you, then you leave it alone. Period. And people think that that's particular, or people think that that's bougie, or whatever. What they try to add a negative connotation to it. Fuck them. It is what it is. You just know what you want, and your life not gonna be what you want if you listen to what other people think it's gonna be what they want. So. I'm Aries.
When do you plan to attend another fashion week?
To attend or to like showcase, I would attend another fashion week right away, or the next season. I'm not gonna say like right away, but like the next season. I want to start traveling to different fashion weeks, things of that nature, in regards to networking and things of that nature. But in regards to when I was showcased at another fashion week, I'm not sure, just because of course I would want it to be more like, I just got my foot in the door. I feel like I just got my toes wet. Like, so I want it to be something that's like in your face and very like quality in regards to showing my growth and showing my transitions and things of that nature. Excuse me guys, I had a solo on the break, but yeah, I definitely want to like travel. I feel like it's like the fashion girl dream to travel and go to different fashion weeks and just move around in Paris, London, Tokyo, New York. Talking about zodiac signs.
So if you had the opportunity to, let's say, partner with let's see, a brand of your choice, like if you want to like do a partnership or like, you know, combine or, do something special with your clothing line and someone else's, would you take the opportunity to, expand and give the audience a little more of like
You forgot she was a chaser? You forgot she was a chaser? She's going for the opportunity.
Yeah, I would do it. It would have to fit. It would have to move in alignment. Like, it would have to fit. It would have to be something that shows strengths of both sides of like each party. I feel like we both would have to have our own certain audience and be
At the same level.
a benefit to, not necessarily at the same level, but it has to be like, it has to make sense. It has to, I'm marketing to maybe a new horizon or a new audience, and they doing vice versa or whatever like that. It can be, I'm thinking like Mr. Sir with lipstick or Mr. Sir with whatever, like in regards to partnerships, sneakers or another clothing brand. We could definitely do a collab, but it would have to be like, and we both have the same audience and stuff like that, and we kind of both doing the same things. It's more of a conflict of interest in some ways, but it can be a benefit to grow if we're going to continuously do things together, I feel like. Because then that becomes like my work bestie.
Okay, we only have a few more questions left for
Okay.
you. How do you market or like spread awareness?
I feel like word of mouth, always word of mouth, social media, making sure that you on like the Google first page, or making sure people know what to search, or just staying, like I said, in your face with different things, whether it's pictures, fashion shows, handing out things like flyers, business cards, shirts, like people wearing the product. Sometimes you gotta gift merchandise to people, whatever. Let other people see that certain people are in it or interested in it. Yeah, I just move product. Like, I feel like people, when you are a supporter of it, I wear my brand all the time. Like, again, I got on my socks today, and I have on this jacket. This is a newer jacket that was released for Philly Fashion Week, coming to the website soon. It's called the Newsflash Construction Jacket. And it has some like micro meanings inside of it if you take a look online. I'm just always wearing stuff and I feel like I'm a walking billboard for my brand. I gotta be a walking billboard for my brand. Literally, it's always something. And if I don't got on something, I'll be mad because it'd be like those days when people be like, oh, is that yours? Like, and I'm like, no, or I got it today. Like, but because as a fashion girl, you still want to like wear other brands and support other brands. I got friends who make clothes or whatever.
That's kind of why it's hard to like separate artists from their individual and their creative side.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think someone has to.
But I think that again, like my personal self is the Bree Couture version of it. Is I'm a creative director, so it's like when I do model or whatever like that, like that's Bree Couture model. It's not Mr. Sir. Or if I'm setting up the stage or the setting or something of that nature, that's me getting that together, or doing both or whatever. If I'm doing like business consultants or my ebooks again, like I mentioned earlier, that's gonna come from me. That's not coming from the brand because that's not what the brand kind of is or promoting or whatever. Like that's like the Bree Couture side of it. Whereas Mr. Sir is the events and the clothes and the just lifestyle that we're creating and promoting.
Okay, I know the people want to see. They want to see more of Mr. Sir product.
Straight on my jacket. Can you see my jacket?
Yeah, let's give them a look. Let's give them a full, look up the jacket. Check it out. We'll be in.
And like Mr. Sir came from, everybody always asks me like the term.
Yeah, right.
So Mr. Sir came from, I was in like 7th grade. I don't know what camera can see me, but this is the Newsflash jacket. I'm gonna get back to that. The Newsflash jacket. Construction jacket. Kind of canvas material. And it's a large, extra oversized print on it with a newspaper, and it has two faces if you're not familiar on it. And I hand sketched this. And it has the definition of code switching. And it has some hidden messages on the newspaper.
So, what's next for Mr. Sir? Or for you?
For me, I want to talk more. I want to do more maybe podcasts or YouTubes and speaking events and engagements or whatever it is though. Like, because I feel like on my social media, this is what people have been asking me for a lot.